So when we here down in Atlanta in Georgia, we football. This is football time. So over the off season, the Falcons gave Kirk Cousins $180 million and $100 million guaranteed. So after they gave him the money, you would think, okay, this is our guy of the future. We're gonna be betting the house on him. But what they turn around and do is, when the draft comes along, we thinking maybe they might invest in defense. Maybe they may invest in another receiver. The Falcons invest in another quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., guy out of Washington. He's been hurt with two season-ending injuries twice. Now, he has a record on him. He has an arm on him. And I like the guy. He's a small version of Drew Brees to me because of the way he looked and he's shaped and get the ball on the field because he's accurate. But I'm like, why would you invest that kind of money in a quarterback and guarantee him all that money, then draft a quarterback in the first round who's 20, if I'm not mistaken, 24 years old? Why would you do that? Why? I don't get it. Because with the Falcons, I'm like, bro, we haven't really been relevant since we gave up that 28-3 lead to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And we let Tom Brady come back from 25 points down and beat us. So now we've been on the down slope ever since then. So now you're telling me that you're going to invest all this money in this guy, and then you got somebody behind him that's almost like saying you got Kirk Cousins keeping the seat warm for him. So I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? You could have took that money. If you knew you was going to draft a quarterback, you could have taken that money and do something else with it to build a team up. We got weapons all over the field. Because I'm like, if you got Kirk Cousins, why didn't you draft the boy Rome Odunze, who they got in Chicago? That was the next pick after you guys. If you got Kirk Cousins, you load him up with weapons or you load him up with a defense. But you don't invest in a new quarterback and take the number, I think the Falcons have the number 8 pick. You don't take the number 8 pick and put on a quarterback, a 24-year-old quarterback. I mean, where did they do that at? It's almost like we pay Monopoly out here. And Kirk, whether you keep, and so when, even if Kirk Cousins plays his contract out for 4 years, that makes Michael Penix Jr. 28 years old. So I'm like I said, this man has been hurt 2 times at Washington and at Indiana because he transferred from Indiana to Washington. He has 2 season-ending injuries on his knees. So I'm like, and those injuries that usually mess up your career, but he bounced back from, so he's resilient. But what are you doing? And you can't say Kirk Cousins go home because you guaranteed $100 million to him. So I mean, that's where we at as Falcons fans. The Falcons say they want to win. We're in a division that we can win. No disrespect, we in one of the easiest divisions in football. Carolina been the worst team in football last year. The Saints is a average team because they can't do nothing because they in salary cap purgatory. Then you got Tampa Bay. They're one of those teams that messed up their salary cap, but they banking their future on Baker Mayfield, a dude who was almost out the league. So I mean, the Falcons, we can win 10 games. It takes 10 games to win that division, and we can do that easily. So when they got Kirk Cousins, I was like, okay, all right, we going for it. But then I'm like, the Falcons is crazy to me. Raheem Morris was on the staff with our old coach. They didn't give Raheem Morris the job when Dan Quinn got fired. They gave it to Arthur Smith. Then they fired Arthur Smith, and instead of bringing in something new, a bright mind, or getting somebody like a Belichick, which I understand why you want Belichick out of New England because he wanted too much control. But these young coaches who are out there, why didn't you take one of these young offensive coaches, a young mind, and put with all those weapons you got out there? But then you bring Raheem Morris in. I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, dog, what are you doing here? But look, man, I digress because look, I'm waiting for 2 more weeks, and then the Bulldogs will be playing.